Here we are in the Upper Basilica. Giotto's life of Saint Francis fresco dominates us and silently speaks to us. Amazed by the infinite beauty of these 28 scenes, we look back at Francis's life. Yet there's one piece gone missing. Rivo torto, Francis kissing the leper. One of the most subversive kisses of the European Middle Age. The poor are rejected by history and by the telling of that same story. The first form of poverty experienced by the poor is narrative poverty. Going unnoticed, being forsaken, the lack of storytelling. Yet, that one episode was for Francis a fundamental episode.
At the foot of Mount Suvasio, there is Rivo torto, which was born around the leper colony where Francis treated the sick. The place where Francis met and kissed the leper is located along the oldest road that connects Assisi with Rivo torto. Francis, a true lover of perfect humility, goes among the lepers and lives with them, to serve them in every need for God's sake. He washes their bodies and heals their wounds, as he says in his testament, "When I was in my sins, it seemed too bitter to see lepers." Indeed, the sight of lepers was so unbearable that as soon as he saw their shelters 2 miles away, he would hold his nose with his hands. But here is what happened. At a time when he had already begun to have holy and sound thoughts, by the grace and virtue of the Most High, while he was still living in the world, one day a leper appeared before him. He did violence to himself. He approached him and kissed him.
Not everyone chooses Madonna Povertà, but only Francis and those like him who know that typical joy of true and non-ideological poverty. That cosmic fraternity, that canticle of creatures, that absolute freedom, those kisses to the mouth and hands of lepers. The perfect joy only comes from those who know and live in a different kingdom. It is the family of the poor of the earth, where the ones who have become poor by choice feel like brothers and sisters of those without choice. Poor by choice next to those who are just poor, all close to one another. It is not a feeling, it's a way of being, a lifestyle. It's heaven on earth. Francis walked alongside with the poor, those left behind, rejected, the sick, the last ones. Francis's fraternity is always partial and partisan because he's on the side of the victims. It's not the fraternity of neighbors. It's not the fraternity of equals. It's not a simple fraternity. It is an unlikely fraternity and sorority. It's very difficult to talk about this poverty and fraternity. Only some artists and writers have been able to do it.